Cam Skattebo's one-line 4:08 a.m. post-surgery text, "Spirits are good," is the kind of sentence that lands harder than you'd expect. It's not just a status update. It's a portrait of the player the Giants suddenly can't rely on for the rest of this season. Tough, irrepressible, and already thinking about the comeback instead of the setback. Brian Daboll read the text aloud to reporters and laughed the half lift of relief every coach gives when a kid shows grit. "That's scat," he said, and then the conversation turned, as it must, to logistics and consequences. ESPN.com, the medical reality is ugly and blunt. Skattebo suffered a dislocated ankle in Week 8, was carted off in Philadelphia, and underwent surgery Sunday night. Team doctors and Daboll confirmed the procedure went well, but the injury is severe enough that the rookie will miss significant time while he heals and rehabs. The immediate picture is stabilizing the injury, then planning a long, methodical rehab that will likely extend into the offseason. That's the clinical version. The human version is a locker room missing a grin, a rush lane, and a personality that made a miserable season feel at least watchable. NFL.com. Before the injury, Skattebo was more than a highlight reel. He'd quietly become one of the Giants' most efficient playmakers. 410 rushing yards and 5 rushing TDs, 207 receiving yards and 2 receiving TDs, 617 yards from scrimmage, and 7 total touchdowns. Numbers that would scale into a full season breakout if he'd stayed healthy. Those figures aren't just box score noise. They show a rookie who was learning how to finish plays and how to be a factor on early downs, third downs, and in the red zone. Losing that production isn't merely losing yards, it's losing momentum and a style of physicality the Giants don't have in abundance. ESPN.com. So what happens next for the Giants on the field? Daboll was candid. The team will lean on the depth chart. Tyrone Tracy Jr. and veteran Devin Singletary are next in line, and the coaching staff has to tighten a next-man-up approach that often feels like a cliche until it's actually needed. Expect schemed adjustments, more two-back looks to disguise carries, more use of short, high-percentage passing concepts to replace chunk runs, and an emphasis on ball security and situational trust. In short, the Giants will try to paper over the loss with structure, knowing nothing will fully replace Skattebo's burst and home run ability. ABC7 New York. There's also a psychological ripple. Jackson Dart's visible reaction when Skattebo was carted off, the headbutt, the tears, the bench swarming, showed how raw this was for teammates. Losing a teammate in that way is more than an X and O problem. It's a leadership and emotional test for a locker room already searching for identity. Daboll's sharing of the 4:08 a.m. text was an attempt to inoculate the team and fans against the worst-case mental drift. He's okay. He's still in here with us. That kind of small public reassurance can steady a locker room in the short term. Whether it fuels a longer-term resilience is the real challenge. People.com. Let's be frank about timelines. Severe dislocations with surgery are not a 9-week recovery. Even optimistic comparisons point to many months of healing, strength work, and carefully staged return-to-play benchmarks. Some players have returned in under a year from complex ankle trauma, others need longer. The immediate goal is restoring stability and range of motion, then rebuilding power and confidence. For a back who depends on burst and cutting, full trust in the repaired joint is as important as physical healing. The Giants and Skattebo will have to plan conservatively and prioritize career longevity over a rushed comeback. ESPN.com. What does this mean for Skattebo himself? The 23-year-old's message, upbeat, grateful, and already casting the injury as a chapter rather than an ending, matters. Rehab is as much a mental marathon as it is physical therapy. Players who approach recovery with that spirits are good mindset tend to be more consistent in rehab compliance, which correlates with better outcomes. He's shown he can be that kind of worker. His college-to-pro rise was built on grit and late bursts of improvement. If the surgery went well, and reports say it did, and his attitude stays intact, there's a realistic path for a strong 2026 return. Losing Skattebo accelerates several decisions. The Giants will get a clearer picture of their backup running room, which might inform future depth moves at the trade deadline or in free agency. It also changes short-term play calling. Fewer designed explosive runs, slightly more distribution to receivers and checkdowns, and perhaps more reliance on clock management to protect a shaky offense. The front office will be watching the medical reports closely. For a rookie who'd been trending upward, the Giants must balance patience with roster pragmatism. Back sports page. Finally, keep perspective. Football is capricious. It gives and it takes. The immediate sting is real. A rookie with breakout flashes is sidelined, and a fan base that finally had reason to cheer sits back in familiar frustration. But Skattebo's early career body of work suggests this isn't a one-hit wonder. The surgery went well, his mental state is good, and the organization, from coach to trainers to teammates, is rallying. That combination is as hopeful as a headline allows in pro sports. Not guaranteed, but plausibly optimistic. ESPN.com bottom line, the Giants lost more than yards when Skattebo went down. They lost a spark and a growing identity. But his early defiant text, "Spirits are good," is a reminder that the story doesn't end in a cart. The hard work starts now. Surgery, rehab, patience, and a plan that treats Skattebo like a long-term investment, not a short-term casualty. For a team and a player that both need redemption, that outlook is small consolation today and a potential foundation for a powerful comeback tomorrow. ESPN.com.